Hi guys, this is Erica from Gokce Capital. Now before I begin, be sure to click subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Al is fighting a losing battle with Purslane. Every time he pulls it out, it comes back. But when he reached out to a gardener, he got some surprising advice. We'll learn more at the end of this video. But first, if you live in an arid climate, consider embracing drought-tolerant plants. And in today's video, we have the top things you should know. Number 1. What are drought-tolerant plants? Drought-tolerant plants are those with existing features to minimize water loss and maximize water uptake. Number 2. What are some examples of drought-tolerant adaptations? Drought-tolerant plants often have small leaves to help reduce evaporation over their leaf area. But if they do have large leaves, these leaves may have deep indentations called sinuses. Many drought-tolerant plants, such as firs or pines, use needles rather than leaves, or the leaf may have a heavy accumulation of wax to help conserve water within the plant. Fine hairs on leaves help trap moisture on the leaf's surface, and drought-tolerant plants often have deep, not wide roots, so they can get at water well below the surface. Number 3. What are the benefits to you of drought-tolerant plants? Well, it may perhaps be common sense, but drought-tolerant plants require less water. Thus, they are cheaper to maintain and more resilient, especially if you live in a place with extreme conditions. Number 4. How do you care for drought-tolerant plants? Caring for mature drought-tolerant plants is fairly straightforward. But when you first plant your plants, try to do it in the late fall or early spring. This allows them to take to the ground before it becomes too hot in summertime. During this period, you'll want to give your plant a heavy watering once a week. This may be confusing, but providing water to your plant in the first 2 seasons allows the roots to grow deeply so that the plant can thrive later without water. In a similar vein, you'll want to mulch the soil around the base of the new plant to help retain moisture in the ground and prevent weeds from growing. But after this initial period, once the roots take hold, your drought-tolerant plant really shouldn't need much care, even if there is no water. And number 5. Perhaps your biggest question is, what are some common drought-tolerant plants? One of the best things you can do is consult with your local nursery, but here is a very short list. The common hackberry tree, white spruce, red pine, eastern white pine, chokeberry, common lilac, juniper, salt spray rose, lavender, switchgrass, blue fescue, black-eyed Susan, true lilies, daylily, goldenrod, and thyme. So that's just a brief list, but there are so many more, including a few common weeds. And this brings us back to Al's problem. Like Al, many gardeners are fed up with Purslane. Found across the U.S., this plant is the comeback kid of weeds. If you pull it up, it comes back stronger than ever. It also sheds seeds like crazy, meaning once you have one Purslane plant, you'll soon have many more. Yet to Al's surprise, when he asked one gardener what to do about this hardy plant, the advice was, eat it. Purslane is actually surprisingly nutritious, high in vitamin E and omega-3 fatty acids. In fact, a traditional Greek salad may often be crowned with this supposed pest, which is why some gardeners are making a buck off their weeds by selling them at farmers' markets. But there's more. Purslane, as it turns out, may hold the secret to engineering resilient crops. As our climate changes, many researchers are concerned about the effects of drought on agricultural production. In fact, one report states that droughts have increased 30% since 2000. And of all the plants, Purslane is one of the most drought-resistant. This little weed is actually a bit of a wonder, for it has evolved 2 separate metabolic pathways to handle extreme conditions. Most other plants only have one option, a photosynthesis process that works in high temperatures, such as what sugarcane or corn has, or one that works well in dry conditions, as what most cacti and succulents have. Yet Purslane has both. Thus, it can thrive in conditions that are both very hot and very dry. Scientists hope that they can use Purslane as a model to breed for corn and other crops that can flourish through a severe drought. We are, however, a long way from this. But in the meantime, we know there is one edible, nutritious plant that won't wither in the next dry spell. So why not let it grow? At the very least, it could save you some money on salad greens. But what do you think? Do you have any stories about drought-tolerant plants? Let us know in the comments. Did you like this video? You're going to love our Gokce Land Due Diligence program. We'll make you a land due diligence expert in just 7 days. Check it out at gokcecapital.com/glad. And while you're at our website, don't forget to explore our $1 down properties at gokcecapital.com/listings. Finally, don't hesitate to reach out. You can email, call, or text, and we will respond as soon as possible. So thank you for listening, and more to come.